Zio Ravens here, and with a lot of questions and things that I have been receiving both in game and the few thankful comments that I have. Thank you for your questions, and let me just give me some point to make something to help people out. I guess we'll start off with, and I do apologize if I butcher your name, but marcinsarniak. I'm sorry, with my eyes it's hard to tell if that's an R and an N or an M itself, so I apologize, but marcinsarniak. And he was asking, he wants to try this game, but he's going to get worried about getting ganked all day, every day. How bad is it for PvP for noobs like me? To answer your question, well, you already seen the wall of text by now, but essentially to keep yourself free and not worry about, PvP ganks and stuff, as you are exploring, you will see like on the minimap like the fields, and then you will see like if you're using the ender client, like let's go over and we can see, because one of the smartest things that you can do the smartest things that you can do is to keep an eye on your surroundings. Like once you make your base, you keep things out. You have toggle tracking on at all times. Okay, one thing to do note, if you are out and about, it's always good to have a lot of water. Some people will carry 5 or 6 water skins, or you're walking around with buckets of water, or at least 1 bucket of water with some water skins. As you're running, you want to keep drinking if somebody is chasing you down, and essentially it is a war of attrition, or you get caught by a cliff or a wild animal. There's not much you can do about it. So that's just a quick little tidbit. Always have, if you're that worried about players, or if you see a recent activity, it never hurts to have like 5 or more water skins, or a bucket with a couple water skins to aid you in getting out of whatever situation you are in. So also, if you have the rabbit shoes, the flippers, as you're running, a common thing is to right click on little rabbits as you're running away, and that will increase your speed to get away from them. Another thing you can do is, if you're able to get some distance to get them off your screen, you can immediately go into a burrow, if there's fortunately one near you, and immediately hit Hearth back as soon as you get load into that burrow, and that will save you a lot of grief. But then again, that is all luck based. Some people will give up. Some people are just that desperate. But okay. And so one of the obviously one of the best ways is to obviously have your palisade up. You can make like a very small square with your palisades, and then when it's dry and you have enough LP to expand, you'll be good. But that, I know I've ranted on for quite a while, multiple times. It's just how important it is, because one of the key things in this game is death. Unless you're just living inside of a village like a shut-in, or you live extremely safe, it's just an integral part of the game to an extent. But the easiest ways to deal with people is, most of the time they're not going to bother you. They're probably going to either immediately hearth out and escape, or they're just going to keep on going, or they may even stop to talk to you. It never hurts to be friendly a little. Obviously, you never tell people where your base is. You don't No, that's right. I gave it to my. I gave the bond to my my keeper of keys, but and make sure you have nothing on for the white on your claim, because that will cause you a lot of problems. Even if you do have visitor gates up, if people walk in all willy-nilly, they can be rather annoying. You know, probably drinking. I think one guy brought in a bunch of carts to harass somebody, but that's why we have nothing available on the white names, which is also for everybody. So that'll keep you safe on the inside. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think as I'm going through, because I want to go to the swamp nearby. I'll put that there. Alright, I should have everything. One thing to do note, never leave your palisade gates to the outside open, because even if you have a visitor's gate, somebody can still use a sling or a bow and just shoot right through there, or they can even lure another animal into them. Of course, if they're in combat, it's kind of hard to do, but it is what it is. That's why we built the visitors' gates. Another thing, if anybody says, like, you know, oh, they want to do a trade, they want to come out, you know, you're just standing here, some guy's just sitting out here, you just got, you know, they just don't trust people. Don't say, like, okay, we'll trade, yay. And if you don't put your stuff up, if you're not sure with people, it's just best to have an alt, you know, so you keep your main here and you send your alt out with whatever they want to trade. That is the safest way to do that. And as far as making an alt, I think we'll go ahead and we'll do that. And you know, I could use another laborer in my base, so we'll go ahead and make it here. So for some people, I have seen some questions while we're going through here. You will need a dream catcher, which is like a few string and a few sticks, and it will eventually produce one beautiful dream, which you will need to create a Hearthfire. Now, so if you have a small claim and you want to, a smart idea would be to keep your Hearthfire on the inside. Like I usually keep it right at the front door, because you can still walk over it and there will be no issues. You can even leave with a cart. But the main reason for that though is because as you can see with it right here, it's a little dark. Oh, I gotta log in with it. And you see how now it's like a brighter green. That lets people know that you are online. So if there's any raiders or bandits walking by and they see your Hearthfire outside, they can tell what times you are on, and they kind of stalk you or whatever, you know. Some people will do that, but that's a very rare occasion. But this is one indicator that gives outside people to know when you're on and when you're offline. So they'll most likely wait till you're offline and then attack your base if you don't have palisades up, or if they're always walking by and your fire is always you know, like a dark green, then that will it'll kind of give them an idea that maybe this claim is, you know, your base is not being used and you left the game, and for whatever reason, and that will give them an incentive to attack as well. But in that case, you know, if there's no activity, the presence goes down, then obviously that's kind of a they're kind of like base corpse raiders. They'll scavenge, you know, any dead or abandoned claims. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Of course, it's always best to keep, you know, your valuables in the behind visitor gates. Don't walk out with them unless take what you need outside. And any loss or death, it should be you should be able to get back whatever you lose. And well, when you do, when eventually you do, or if you do happen to die, or if you need, if you inherit at the graveyard, which I will show in a second once we get the wilderness beacon up. This is what you will use to spawn in your alts, because if you just spawn in your alts, they will spawn randomly and just across the world. So we'll go ahead and build that. You will need carpentry. You will need to have a saw, which is, you know, just catch a rabbit or a squirrel to make that saw with a bow from a tree. And you'll need some stone and clay. And yes, through the stress of wax, you're able to get different kinds of items and goods. Metal is a good one. Of course, you want to use the low quality for different things, but I did show in the my combat video a little bit about the jewelry that you can make that will really help you out. So even if you just get one wax to trade for a couple, like lead or tin, you can make some pretty helpful stuff, like the white metal ring. But we're you know, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna set this beacon right here, and we will be back when it is done, so you can see what's up. Alright, now that we are here and it is built, the wilderness beacon, all you need to do is right click it, and you'll have the spawn secret or the passcode, in other words. So we'll just go with, you know, 0 raven, and that'll spawn. Set it up, and that is when you know what it is. Make sure it's not too convoluted. Just, you know, make sure it's not a common words to use, or you know, nothing guessable. Don't give it out to other people unless you're doing a spawn party, because this is how you can spawn in your friends. What a lot of people do is they'll make a couple, they'll have a character, they'll run around the world, and when one person finds a good spot, that person will begin to make spawn beacons, and then they can bring their friends in that way. So this is how you bring, you know, people or your alts in, and we will show you at the graveyard. So let's swap over. And so while you can make multiple accounts, let's see, you can only have one available, so you have like switch character. But if you have two clients, like you can use the Steam client, and then you can download off the Haven and Hearth website, and you can have multiple things up. Let's see here, I'll switch character. You see, we have our Keeper of Keys, and now we will make another character. And the all too familiar process. For those of you who haven't played the game, this choice does not matter. Just ignore the flavor text. If you go right, you will, your character is basically selecting, you know, your gender. Like on the left hand is the female bath, on the right is the male. A fan of ponytails, so we'll go over and get this, the ponytail gang. as you're going through, you can right click on this pool and it will do a change. As you can see, you can have a little bit of these are just the starting hairstyles as far as to my knowledge. You can later on get like scissors and a wardrobe, and you can do a bit more customization. So this is not permanent, you don't have to worry, but you know, it's just basic. Yeah, we'll go blonde. Wait, no, Terminus blonde, that's right. There you go. A little better. Alright, so as you're coming through, this is the wizard guy. You talk to him to change your name. We'll actually do that. My name. Not perfect, but it's something. Hit enter. Do not enter the fire just yet. This is the graveyard. You will see another stone over here. If one of your characters has died, gotta ignore that. You can right click on the gravestone and it will let you inherit it. But so you'll see this little totem here with the skull and antlers. You right click on it and then you enter that spawn secret here. And you will see it light up like so. This tells you that the passcode is accepted. And so you will want to burn, and I'm just going to skip this part because it is really loud. But insanity. God, that scream always gets me every time. But as you see, you spawn in right where the beacon is, and the beacon is used. So that is how you will spawn in your alts and your friends and whoever else may be. But we'll go ahead and we'll close out. But yeah. Go over here. Why is that there? I have no idea. One thing you can do, which might trick some people, but you can have your alt follow you around, and it will look like there's two players just walking around. There are 2 or 3. So that's one way that you can use to protect yourself. Another thing you can do is, say, you know, somebody wants to trade or something, and you can just send your alt out with the goods. You trade it and you bring them back. And that's just one way to stay safe. We're going to go ahead and exit out of that. Just swap to this. Much better. So this is all just to help prevent you from getting, you know, going out and then you lose everything that you worked for because you're not thinking. It's always good to have an alt to keep you as safe as possible. And while we're on the subject here, this was popular, I think, 2 worlds ago. Basically, when people are out with the, you know, the dugouts, what they would do is they would go up to random people and block them, and then they will start destroying. Well, let me. Here, we'll skip to when we're in the water. Okay, so if you're out and about and you see some guy and he's, you know, going straight towards you, the appropriate response is, if you can't get away, is to go to the shallow water. Simply because a lot of people, what they like to do well, not a lot of people, thankfully not, but they will go up and they will start using destroy. Oh, no, 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 no. As you can see, because they can destroy your boat, and it's really quick, as you can see. And what'll happen is if you're not prepared, you will, you know, your boat will be destroyed and you will drown in the water. And then they can loot the body off your, and then they can loot your body in the water. So be careful with that and stay safe on the rivers. Obviously, the dugout is not worth your life to protect. If you're never, you know, just stay safe. That's all I ask. And see, you know, when you're out and about, don't be walking around with everything. That's kind of a given. That's the whole reason you have the palisades in your claim, is to protect your valuables. Like, at least for me right now, you know, I can easily make all this. I do a lot of hunting. As you've seen in one of my cupboards, I have I have gotten a lot of leather, and I think I need to make more willow weep. Another thing to stay safe, like if you're out and about and people are walking, you will see like a little white triangle, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with trying to play the game. You know, if you're just walking about and you don't have anything, don't worry about, you know, too much about dying, because if you keep your stuff in your palisades, then you don't have to worry so much about getting destroyed. The only exception to this is I have recently come to understand is, you remember, I'm still healing from getting messed up by another player. Like, it takes a long time for the stitchings to heal that up. Oh Lord, I got a swollen bump. Well, a good reason well, no, because, okay, yeah, during the summertime you want to avoid the swamps. Because if the little midges, if they get to you, then they can cause a really nasty, it's like a plague bite, and you need the best medicine to get rid of it in order for you to start healing, and it is not a good time. So be careful when you're out in the swamps, which is kind of redundant because that's what I'm doing right now, but let's run. This one's pick up a clover, maybe we can find a horse. I'm not a whole lot worried about the badgers and stuff right now, but I'd rather not take any more injuries than I have to. So, I do apologize. But yeah, you see like a little white arrow. The best thing to do is to have you travel to Hearth on your hotbar, so you can press like 3 or F3 if you're using Ender or another client that allows the hotbar. And that will immediately get you out of there. If you are riding a horse, it is extremely vital you just run the opposite direction if they are on foot, because even if they are like from here to where that tree is, you can still be affected by rawhide, which will drain the pony power of your horse and stun lock you. And with that pony power gone, there is no saving you. Like, I'm sorry, you're just gonna lose your horse and anything, because they'll be attacking you. You'll be locked in the rawhide motion, and it's not a good time. So just run away as soon as you see somebody, like, you know, you see people you don't know. That's why one thing, I like to have colors. Oh, I have new friends here. Alright, tech. I always love to give them color. If you're working with a village or in a village, always have them one single color. You have people you have met, like there's some hermits that I have met that they are pretty cool. I keep them as blue, like a light blue. And for a groups or teams that I have encountered and they seem alright, I give them the dark blue, like that. They're alright. Blue is chill, that's alright. Yellow is people I've met out that I've only briefly met in the overworld, and I am not sure if they are friendly or not. Like I don't know, like this guy had a whole village or something set up, and things are just, I don't know these people, so I keep them as yellow. Like I have met them, I memorized them, but I'm not sure. Purple I keep for my alts and my personal characters. Orange I keep as, you know, people that I work with a lot, the people that I do, you know, I trust, that I have done business before, and they've been really good to me. You know, it's always good to have, especially if you're in a village and you can't really see where your friends are at, or the people, you know, you do a lot of business with, or your neighbors. It's always good to have them, especially in a village, because there's a lot of people walking around. I'm trying to think of what else I can do. Oh, one thing before we carry on. As you're traveling about, you will need to be careful with claims, like especially crossing rivers. Fortunately, if you ever have a claim and you're claiming rivers like this person right here, apparently they made it to where the white can trespass. That's one of the more, if you ever do this, just make sure to have white on trespass so people can go in and out, you know, going down the rivers. As you can see, he's got fishing nets up. So this is a really good guy here. I could probably, if I meet him, he might be nice. But there are a lot of trolls and bad people where you could try to go through, but you can't enter. You will have to go through toggles and criminal acts, and you will have to trespass that way by force. You don't need the skill to trespass onto claims, but it does leave a scent and it does damage you. And a lot of attackers, bandits, trolls, whatever you call them, they usually patrol that area, and they will try to find your exact location that way. So you can do to get through a river or a lake. It's real annoying, but just remember that you're leaving your scent behind for attackers to follow. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Oh, okay. Alright, and at this part I'm going to show you some really nifty things that will help you speed up your productions and just save you a lot of stress. So you have stuff in here, your killings are full of charcoal, you don't have a wheelbarrow yet. Of course, with the wheelbarrow you can just right click on whatever and it will do it for you, but you can see I got these clay jars ready. This one you can shift and right click and it will take everything out that is ready. And to fuel your whatever it is, you can take coal or blocks of wood. You can pick it up, shift and right click. Wait, no, that isn't right. Oh, I mean, you can hold shift and right click if you need to put a little bit at a time, and it'll pull the next one in line out into your hand. So to do that, you can hold shift, control, and then right click, and it will fill it up. It will use everything that you have to fill it up. So that's pretty handy. When you're doing that, you can also shift right click. And you can hold shift and use the scroll wheel to move it around. But if you have everything in your inventory you want to get rid of, you can hold shift, control, and then right click. And that will take everything out of your inventory and into a stockpile. So that little bit right there should help you a lot in your production activities. Alright, let's say, get these in here. Let's say you have, because when you click, let's see, no, I already, oh, here we go. Alright, so when you shift and scroll wheel up, you can pull things out, and when you scroll wheel down, you can put things in. So you don't have to manually move stuff, you can just, well, here, I can deal with it. No, it's 89%, but yeah, shift, scroll wheel up, and that will pull everything out. But usually when you do that, it is quicker, but you will see it does not stack for some reason. Well, I only got 2 rabbit hides, so we'll use leather as an example. Because when you pull leather out, it will be like this, you know, not stacked at all. And when you try to put it into a cupboard or anything, you see it's not stacking at all. One of the easiest ways you can remedy this is shift right click. Pick it up, shift right click, and it will take everything that can stack with it, and it will stack it for you, making inventory management pretty nice. It also makes filling your study desk a lot quicker, especially if you have stacks. You shift and pull up. You know, if you got space and you want to get your stuff in here, you shift and scroll wheel down, and that will unstack. It'll put everything that you have into here. So it's just one thing that will really help you out. You can do this with everything, including you know, your feast table, and it's really just the quality of life little thing that I'm sure I've noticed not many people know or understand. So, and another thing, you can just like with the killings or any other like ovens or whatever, for inventory, like crates right here, shift right click, you'll pull everything out. So, no, not exactly perfect, but oh, when you are doing farming, so if you need to collect a lot of seeds, especially out in the overworld where those wild crops are, if you have an empty bucket in your hand, the seeds and everything, they will go into that bucket. It does, to a degree, it will not accept any, it'll only take that one quality. So if I have quality 10 seeds, it will not pick up, the bucket will not pick up quality 3 or lower than 10, but also higher than 10. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Another thing you can do, you can right click it, pick up, you course, you can put seeds and a lot of things in barrels, but you right click it like that. And if you have an extensive farm like I do here, don't particularly want these, but just for demonstration, you can shift and right click, and you can do massive amounts of farming, and that will get it makes farming a lot quicker and easier. You can do let's see here, what's another one? Oh yeah, another guy. With standing grass, reeds, and other things, including crops, you can shift and right click and you will have that cursor again, drag and pull, and it will harvest everything in that area. So you can just sit there with an alt and just cut reeds for, you know, just have them cutting reeds for a long time, and it'll keep going as long as you have water, because if not, sweet, I love having more flax. Pretty soon I'll get a herbalist table. Alright, real quick insert. One thing that'll really help you, especially if you have alts doing your labor, is the shift right click. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna chop all of this up. Okay, and when you just let it sit there and chop the whole log, you see the stuff on the ground. You can right click to make a stockpile, put it over that, and then you can shift right click and it will pick up every similar item, and then you can just shift right click over, and you see how easy that is. That, I hope, will make your palisade making and your farming and a lot easier. It'll make your projects a lot more swifter. One thing you can do is for people who want to make glass, obviously you're going to need sand, but you're also going to need lye, which you can get by oh no, we don't shift click on that. Yeah, don't shift click your logs on the kilns when you need to cook them. You can put blocks of wood in a board, and then these will eventually cook until they have burn into ash, which I already have a bunch of ash ready. You can right click your bucket, go over to a boiling cauldron, if I could get there. Oh yeah. Charcoal does work for a lot of things too, like the fireplace, and I think, let me get so when you have an excess amount of coal that you get from the charcoal kilns, remember you can use it for as fuel for just about everything except for smoke sheds. Those need wood planks for obvious reasons, I guess. You know, it's kind of like smoking your own meats at home as you're cooking them. I'll go ahead. Lye does take a little bit of while to make, but let's see. Okay, that won't work. Alright, so you can take it, put take, ask you how much. For a bucket, you only need 9 liters. Okay, or just do that. Alright, so as you have them in there, you'll see that, but really most you know, the efficient way of getting the ashes out is to take. So you can use the bucket, but that's if you don't really have any space. But just like with everything else, shift right click, shift control right click. There we go. And that will fill your barrel back up. I think that's about it. Besides from, if you're not aware, when you're building projects, you can have stockpiles next to that project, and it will use from that stockpile. So if you're building palisades, you can put a bunch of you know, blocks of wood stockpiles, have them ready to go, and it will use the stockpile as you go. So I can't really think of any other little tips. So just short recap, you know, having you know, your teleport home button available, or the Hearth, travel to your Hearthfire. Be nice to people that you see, and that there's a good chance that they're just, you know, friendly hermits, you know, peaceful people. But then there's also the chance of, you know, having those bad people. But having a calm and cool disposition and understanding, you know, how people can be, because do know that they are also worried about losing their character as well, because they don't know you. So there's, you know, those chances that are there. One thing to keep in mind is to that if you do go with a village, because if you live as a hermit, there's a good chance you'll live peacefully and nobody will bother you. But because the PvPers, or the, you know, the bandits, whatever you want to call them, they like to use their resources and risk their lives for bigger things, like around villages, like at least whatever bay right here, it is constantly being you know, there's, you know, gankers, there's people attacking people around the village. Like there are teleports out that are safe. That's how I go back and forth to whatever bay. But yeah, push quality. This is the main reason why people attack villages and stuff, because when you have a lot of people, you can get that quality up, and you get a lot more resources. Like living by yourself, it'll be hard to get metal, wax, a lot of leather. You can get leather, different seeds, high quality. It's one of the benefits of living in or working with a village. So it's just the risks associated with it. But as you can see, I had a sword and a wolf cape, which I have managed to trade, you know, just for wax. I got that metal, I got a pickaxe, and I can start getting my own stuff. This one's, where is it? It might be with my attemption at Thames. Okay, yeah, because I traded for a bronze sword. I mean, for the sword, I had to go into a dungeon with this pretty cool guy, Sonya and Green Among Us. He is a fun name. But yeah, we did a B dungeon together, and I should have recorded that. I'm sorry, but it was pretty interesting. With the tactics, when you do dungeons like that, it's always good to have multiple people to make it as easy as possible for lower stats. And I got the wolf cape too. So as you can see, risking, trade with another village or faction, it can be worth it. Um, Currently, I'm hoping to raise horses so I can, just have that as a trade for the community. Yeah, there is wax, but not everybody needs wax all the time. I mean, some people will. The wax is very valuable, don't get me wrong, but it does have its limits, and it's always good to have a variety of items or goods like horses or cows, or if you have very high quality curiosities like quality 30 or 50, like dragonflies, those are pretty good. So it's the risk in association, with villages, is the villages have a higher density of bad people. And one thing I can say that I do love about this game though is you are essentially if you want to be the police or the ranger, you can do that. You can get like a couple of buddies, you get your stats up, and you can literally police the land, tracking scents and dealing out justice in such a way. Or the opposite, as as they were saying, ganking. And I do apologize if you can hear that obnoxious beep. Cars going down the road. I don't know why. Yeah, that's essentially it. There is a lot to this. Staying safe. It's always good to have like a cupboard full of medicine. Weeping willow is easily one of my the most common ones to use for a lot of things. It's essentially like aspirin. That's what you're making, but it does do work. You drink it and it distributes it to the different wounds and stuff. Oh, I thought that said bleeding for a moment. I was like, uh-oh. But yeah, if you have Ender clients, by the way, you can go through here and you can look for, where are you? Bay Willow, and also the Willow Tree. And you can have it set to display and it'll show on the mini-map. And you can right click that icon and you can see if the bark has been stripped or not. So like it'll say, when you right click it, it'll say, it'll say bark on there if there's still bark on it. So you can travel through and get a lot of willow. Remember, you will take it to a boiling cauldron and you will need clay jars, but that's really easy stuffs. Really easy stuffs to get a hold of and to make. It's those easy medicines that you can make, and it is used for a lot of different injuries and grievous wounds. Gauze you can make, use a clover on a mouflon, and when they take it you can right click and use sheer wool. I think you will need 2 of these. Let me see. Let's see, crafts. Medicines and first aid. Okay, you will only need 1. But you will need to make a loom beforehand. It's the basic mechanics of the skill unlocked, and it's just a bunch of string, boards, and wood and branches. That'll get you through to making a lot of good mid-game stuff. But you will need wheel riding, metal working, and rope twining to unlock basic mechanics. And so when you get to that point, you can easily make gauze. You just have to find the mouflon in the world or tame one yourself to use. So I gotta deal with this. Should have a leech, but I don't know if I have stated in a previous video. There we go. A lot of times you will take like gauze, and you will right click and hit apply. Actually, let me see if we can get to that leech. Can things cooperate? Okay. So a lot of the times things like cold compresses, stinking poultice, cold cuts, gauze, stuff like that, you will have to pick it up and right click on whatever wound that requires it, and it will heal. Obviously with gauze you will need to remove some items sometimes. It'll usually take the eyes and mouth slots, but that'll be a thing. And different wounds like willow weep or medicine, sorry, when you make that jar, you will drink it and it will distribute itself through multiple things, on which, like right here, I will need to drink some more willow weep to help me with this nasty concussion. The downsides of going mining without supports, that's why I have those metal bars, because I'm tired of always being in a healing state. And there are other things like, let's see here, swollen bump requires leech. You can't really put that on there, so a good thing to have is to have multiple leeches. And oh, I forgot to have auto drop parasites on. Yeah, disable that if you're on Ender. So you would put your leech wherever, and what that will do for the treatments like swollen bump, it'll convert this into leech burns, which will heal quicker. So I'm just gonna leave that on there. I need to get rid of these swollen bumps. Yeah, be careful when you're mining. Live and learn, or immediately perish in a cave-in. But I don't know, I'm very tired. I'm trying to get things going. I suppose that'll be all for now. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope all of this little bits helps. I know a lot of y'all have been probably wondering and curious about different things. I have seen a lot of questions that popped up in the Discords and chat, and thankfully you guys on YouTube letting me know what's up. So I will do what I could, and I hope it helped you out a lot. If not, do let me know if I can help you with anything else, and I will try the best I can to get a, at least a reasonable video that isn't an hour long, which I hope not, and I do apologize if it is. So we'll leave it at this. I'll stop yapping. As you see, yeah, I would appreciate. So I'd like to say, this has helped you, or if you somehow enjoyed this yapping rant, do leave a like, subscribe for more, and do comment below if you have any questions, or if you have anything you wish to say. I would appreciate any and all feedback, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day, and thank you again for watching. Peace out.